We get a lot of flats on our factory test cars, so thanks to your Patreon money, we managed to buy this nice air compressor. First rate. Well, that's what the salesman said. Just needs a little bit of touching up. Your donation money at work. Keep it coming. Well, this Mercedes-Benz SL43 sure is a nice looking rig. I think I should get one for myself. And only $109,900. What a bargain. I bet they add a bunch of options on top of that. If you bet on it. Well, I ordered one and they sent a price sheet showing what I'm getting, so let's take a close look before I get my hands on it. A handcrafted 2-liter, oh, it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder, turbo, putting out 375 horsepower. Torque is down to 354 pounds-feet. Pretty impressive for a 4-banger. And yes, as promised, starting at $109,900, but look at all these options. White mango paint and carbon fiber trim. A whopping $3,250 for the paint job. Wow, and $2,850 for the carbon fiber trim. Wonder how much weight that saves. I'm not going to cover all the options in detail. This video will be way too long. Here's a quick look. If you want to freeze frame and read everything, go right ahead. Lots and lots of extras going down the list. There you go. And here's the fuel economy expected on this little 4-banger. But this is a real Mercedes made in Germany, in a German factory, German parts. That's usually worth a few bucks extra. Usually keeps the quality control a bit higher, I'm told. And here's a safety rating for those concerned about things like that. Isn't rated at all, but it's a Mercedes, so should be pretty safe. So let's open the door, roll this baby out, see what it looks like in person. And here we go. Pretty sharp looking. And how does something so long have so little room on the inside? This we'll find out a little bit later. In the rear view, I like that nice red top. And the electrified turbo emblems, so everybody know you're driving a sophisticated German machine. That costs a lot of money. As we do with all our vehicles, we want to check the brand of tires we're getting, because a lot of manufacturers are cheaping out with some junkers made in weird countries we never heard of. But these are Michelin's, top of the line, 21 inches. Pilot Sport S, I'm told that's top of the line performance as well. So, no complaints here. Look at the size of these brakes. Good grief. Look like a manhole cover. I don't think we have a problem stopping on this thing. And the second thing we do is check and see if there's a spare tire, obviously, in this stinky little trunk. You can barely fit a set of golf clubs and a loaf of bread. No, there's no tire under there. Sorry. Get a flat, call roadside assist. And as we do all our vehicles, we're going to take these headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. We did a video on that already on YouTube, but if you didn't see it, we will have the link here. You won't miss anything. The first thing I want to do is put the top down, mainly to show you the second row seating, which is kind of stretching the limits of credibility here. I know it's common on sports cars to lie about second row seating, but come on. What sort of creature is going to fit back here? I don't think a little monkey could. One good thing about this top, it's all electric, not hydraulic, and you do not want a hydraulic system on Mercedes once they get a few years old, because one little hose leak sprays the inside with fluid, gets all over your clothes. And to repair that system, we're talking like about $2,000 or $3,000. You can't just replace a hose, you got to do the whole system. So hopefully this one will be a little more comfortable to live with. Plus it's lighter than the hard tops, around 50 pounds, 49 pounds, something like that. Let's look under the hood. A lot of plumbing for a little 2-liter 4-cylinder. Handcrafted by Fabian Denzel. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The turbocharger has an electric assist, and there's a 48-volt hybrid system to also give some assistance. I was looking at comments on the web about this engine, and a lot of people are complaining, nah, it's got to be a V8. Well, you can get a V8. They sell a 469 horsepower V8, does 0 to 63.6 seconds. Costs you $140,000 base or $160,000 by the time they're done with the options. So go buy one. Find yourself the 577 horsepower V8 for $185,000. Well, $200,000 with options. 0 to 63.1 seconds. You can buy that one too. I'm told this is 0 to 60 around 4.5 seconds, which isn't too shabby for a 3,900 pound car. And it's around $30,000 cheaper than the V8. A lot of people who lease these will never drive over 50 miles an hour, so what do they need a V8 for anyway? Simple but true. I see we have a rear spoiler on the trunk lid that raises when you're doing 170 miles per hour on the freeway. I don't think we're going to be going quite that fast. They frown upon that. Wow, this is a nice paint job, but man, over $3,000, good grief. One of those metallic no-shine jobs. By the way, fleet use is 709 miles, averaging 20.8 mpg at 28 miles per hour. A lot of this mileage was put on before I got around, but gives you an idea of what to expect. Alright, you don't just jump into a Mercedes and start driving. You have a lot of controls you need to learn. Some of them are unusual. Oh, this one's not too bad as far as the info screen goes. Your climate control is on the screen, which I don't like, but not that hard to use. Now you press this button here, and you have all kinds of drive modes. Here we have Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus. Lights up the screen real nice when you do that. Now the steering wheel, this is one of the most important buttons you have. A lot of people will never press this when they get this vehicle. But you should, because it gives you all the different gauge clusters to choose from. Like so. Just run your finger sideways. You have to do it like this, or it doesn't work too well. So we've got the classic, the understated, the sport. This is one I like when you're racing around corners. Got all kinds of cool information on the left and right. Or you just pull up navigation. You have paddle shifters on the steering wheel where they belong. They can always be reached, regardless if you're going a straight line or a corner, with your fingertips. Not on the steering column like the Italians do, which is a stupid place to put them, but yeah, I know Ferrari does it. It's still a stupid place to put them. This is where they belong, on the wheel. And here's what the camera system looks like. Right now I have it in reverse. Wonders of technology. As we're doing all our vehicles, we're going to take some mild speed humps around 15 to 20 miles per hour. See how the suspension performs an impact. I'm told the 4-cylinder model that we have here is like 300 to 400 pounds lighter than the V8s, which should improve handling and maybe make it better on these humps. So here comes hump number 1. Wow, pretty smooth considering the large 21 inchers we got on the wheels. Here comes number 2. Let's speed it up a bit, 20 miles per hour. Smooth. Here comes the big nasty one. Yeah, I felt that one, but I expected as such. So let's take a little highway trip. See what type of numbers we can get on the MPG computer. Several things I've noticed while getting on this road. Number 1, the soft top does a very good job of blocking out the air. There aren't any wind leaks. Pretty quiet considering. As far as noise goes, on the bottom end, these giant wheels and tires are making a lot of rumbling noises and finding way into the cabin, and I guess there's nothing really you can do about that. It is a sports car after all, not a limousine, so you just have to live with it. Now that we're on smoother pavement though, the rumbling is not as loud. Yeah, just what I need, being in back of a gravel truck with the top down. It's not only where they destroy my windshield, but the interior cabin full of sand and other stuff. Yeah, okay. I don't know how we can solve that problem. Just activate that 375 horsepower. Top down and wind in your hair. That's the way to do it. I had that Winnebago doing 54 miles per hour. I was getting around 20 mpg, but speeding up, I got 24.3 now. Averaging 66 miles per hour. I've been going a bit quicker at times, but here's my official number for now. All right, before we go any further, we have to stop and say hi to Tommy the Toad for good luck. They get pretty big out here in the country. It's the water, I hear. All the uranium mines. If you don't stop and say hi to him, it's bad luck, so. And now we've been blessed. So let's continue on. Beyond this point, we're not worried about fuel economy. We want some power on this baby. Put it in sport mode so we can hear that exhaust. I'm told that the European version, which doesn't have a rev limiter, this car reaches something like 160, 165 miles per hour, and I can believe it. Once you get moving, this thing wants to go a lot quicker. That torque really kicks in from the turbo. But we can't drive that quick here. The local law enforcement has a tendency to get a little upset, but good for taking corners, we can do that. If you purchase a Mercedes like this, and you're not taking it on roads like this, driving like this, you kind of wasted your money and not getting money's worth. This is road like this that this SL was intended to be driven on. Curvy and twisty, with very little traffic to get in your way. And be sure you put it in the Sport Plus mode too. One disadvantage with this particular road, they don't have too many guardrails, so if you screw up and spin out, over the edge you go. Kiss your butt goodbye, but I don't think we have a problem with this. On our SL43 with these giant tires and superb brakes. The bottom end torque on this car is fantastic. Really pulls from idle regardless of the RPMs you're doing. No complaints at all. Alright, let's put the top down, give it a try. You're driving a performance car like this, it's important to keep your eyes on the road, so don't be looking down there. Not a good idea. There is a windscreen that goes behind the two front seats to help keep wind noise down, but it's in the trunk. I don't feel like getting it out, and actually with the windows up, the wind isn't too bad the way it is here, so unless I'm on the freeway doing 75 miles per hour, I don't think I'm going to worry about the windscreen too much. This is just fine at these speeds. We're going a little quicker. Yeah, as long as you're doing under 50 miles per hour, you don't need the windscreen. Guess better turn the heat up a bit. Alright, what's my take on this Mercedes-Benz SL43 after a week of driving? I want to play devil's advocate and explain a couple of reasons why I think the 4-cylinder makes more sense for this vehicle than the V8. So bear with me. Alright, number one, I know a lot of people that buy these type of cars and they do them mainly to impress somebody. Take it to the country club, impress their golf buddies, the housewife that goes to the bridge club, impresses all the other girls. They're never going to drive this above the speed limit. It's going to be going from A to B. So what do they need a big V8 engine for? They don't. So a 4-cylinder in this case is more than adequate. And number two, yes, spending all this money for a 4-cylinder might seem kind of obnoxious, but who cares about the cylinders? The fact is that when all things are put together, this vehicle is very quick. 0 to 60 around 4.5 seconds is nothing to sneeze at. And with the lighter weight on the front end, it handles better than the V8 cars. And yes, there's a lot of complex engineering under the hood, so once the miles start racking up, this might be more difficult to maintain and repair, but let's face it, if you're getting a German vehicle Once the 4-year warranty is gone, you're going to be spending a lot of money on repairs and maintenance anyway, so what difference does it make? And most people will be getting rid of these after the 3 or 4-year lease is up anyway. Won't have to be worrying about that. Plus, it's handcrafted. Come on, guys. Show some class and style. So I think when you look at the overall picture, this 4-cylinder Mercedes SL43 makes a lot of sense. And I think they're going to sell more than enough to justify the production numbers. That's my take. Now, if you did not see our headlight test and night drive video, it's coming right up. Click on the link and watch.